Often on cruisehabit.com, I share my personal opinions on cruise updates down at the bottom of posts. We don't always have time to cover every story along with my opinion though, so we're going to try out a new segment on here called Billy's Cruise Takes. I'll share some recent cruise-related updates as well as my opinions on those matters. Today, we'll discuss non-smoking casinos on Carnival, Canada changing their tune on cruising, and the state of the conditional sail order in Florida. First, however, let's talk about how and why Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings is suing the state of Florida. Norwegian Cruise Line is suing the state of Florida over the state's vaccine passport ban, which levies a $5,000 fine each time a private business requires patrons provide proof of vaccination. NCL, among other lines, has committed to sailing with 100% of guests and crew fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and intends to start sailing from Florida in mid-August, but this isn't currently permitted because of the ban. My take. Other lines, such as Carnival and Celebrity, have had some ships sailing with 95% or more of guests vaccinated, asking guests to voluntarily prove they're vaccinated. Those not able or willing to do so must wear masks, abide by other restrictions, and pay for expensive tests and insurance. This has been successful so far, leaving many to question if NCL's suit is necessary. The way that lines have handled this, though, while successful, requires significant coordination and flexibility, as well as low occupancy rates so lines can ensure they stay above the 95% threshold. A win for NCL would not only allow lines to sail fully vaccinated, if they want, but make it much easier for the industry so they could simply require proof of vaccination instead of constantly surveying guests about their intent to show proof of vaccination, pause bookings ensuring that they'll stay above the threshold, and then hope it all pans out at check-in. In other words, it's not just about closing the gap on the small number of unvaccinated guests on some sailings, but allowing vaccinated sailings, which don't require masks or social distancing, to scale up from their currently low occupancy rates. Carnival's brand ambassador John Held shared several new policies around smoking on the fun ships. The biggest one is that on Carnival Breeze, Dream, and Magic, the conference areas are being turned into non-smoking casinos featuring slots and table games. This is big for many guests who want to gamble, something highly profitable for cruise lines, but who don't want to be around smoke. If this works well, Held said that this will be done on other Carnival ships as well. On all ships, half of the main casinos will continue to permit smoking. Held also announced that there will no longer be smoking permitted anywhere on any ship during bunkering or refueling operations. Up to now, only smoking outdoors was prohibited at these times. Now that guests may visit their muster stations at almost any time on embarkation day, and some guests muster at the casino, this has been changed. Casinos are, on many ships across all lines, the last places in which guests can smoke indoors. Notable exceptions are Oceania cruises, Regent Seven Seas, and Celebrity cruises, where smoking is not permitted at all in the casinos. My take. This is a good solution for gamblers, but doesn't help the fact that containing smoke to the casino still means that guests in nearby areas or those needing to walk through the casino may not like the experience. Ultimately, it's simple dollars and cents. If a line thinks they'll lose more money by not allowing smoking than they'll gain by making such a decision, they won't do it. As smoking rates continue to decline worldwide, but especially in the United States, it seems an inevitability that at some point in the not terribly distant future we'll be saying, remember when you used to be allowed to smoke in the casino? A bit of history here. When Carnival Paradise sailed in late 1998, she was billed as the first no-smoking cruise ship. She may have been ahead of her time though, as the concept didn't last but a year, especially since while appealing to many individuals, it limited families or other groups where even just one person was a smoker. Canada has pulled back on their previous ban on cruise ships, which was set to last through February of 2022, and will now allow cruise ships to return to Canada starting November 1st of 2021. This is welcome news to many Canadians working in travel and tourism, though the Alaska cruise season tends to end by mid-October. This change comes several months after the United States passed the Alaska Tourism Restoration Act to allow temporary exemption to the PVSA so that cruise ships could sail to Alaska without requiring a stop in a foreign port. Some are now aiming to make this exemption permanent. My take, while this is progress and This should instill confidence in cruise lines' abilities to sail to Alaska in the future. It may be too little too late, since the cruise season will be over by then. This week, Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Seas returns to service in Alaska without visiting Canada. Even if a permanent exception is made to the PVSA, a law which you can read more about at the link in the comments, it's likely to make only a small change in long term, as typically cruise ships call on either Victoria or Vancouver in British Columbia, both which tend to rate very highly among cruisers. On the East Coast, it's a similar story where fall foliage cruises visit ports such as Halifax and other stops in Canada, which are popular enough not likely to be frequently dropped if suddenly calling on Canada is not required. The conditional sail order remains, for now, the law of the land even in Florida. This after the 11th Circuit Court voted 2-1 to stay the order resulting from a lawsuit filed by the state of Florida that would have made the conditional sail order only a recommendation instead of a rule in the state. To be clear, this means that despite the state of Florida suing the CDC to get rid of the conditional sail order as a rule, as of today, nothing changes. My take: when Florida was handed an initial victory, I didn't feel this made a big difference for guests, and similarly, I don't think this ruling does either. The industry has worked with the CDC to make the CSO much more workable, and now that we see multiple cruise lines with multiple ships successfully sailing within the rules of the order, the industry hasn't planned, at least in any advanced way, any major changes in operation for July 18th, which is scheduled to be the day of the CSO no longer applying, in part because of the risk of ongoing litigation changing this decision, just as it did. None of this changes what may be the industry's greatest struggle with regulation right now: enforcing vaccine requirements. Florida's governor passed a law making it illegal for private businesses to require customers to show proof of vaccine status, which means cruise lines have to get creative in ensuring a high percentage of guests are vaccinated, often by disincentivizing unvaccinated guests to sail with them. You can find links to relevant articles and videos down in the comments below. Let us know what you think of this new segment. I want to hear it. Let me know what you want to see more of or less of. Do me a favor, click the like button below, subscribe to the Cruise Habit YouTube channel, and for more information from cruisehabit.com, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like our Facebook page. If you're looking for help planning your next cruise, the same great travel advisors we use every time we travel will give you a free consultation. Just go to cruisehabit.com/help.